Game two of round two. We saw a great one in game one. In the heart of the Wabash Valley. We look strong. It's the Lafayette Raiders and the Terre Haute Arrows. Welcome to the Wabash Valley Forum, the home of the Arrows. In game one, we saw the Raiders look strong. Can they come back and win game two and tie the series? But the Arrows look strong. And how about in game three? Kloppenstein might return. Let's take a look at the lineups. It's Brody McGea, Duke Carnes, Cooper Zachary, Nick Green, and Kirion Berry out there for the Raiders. And for the Arrows, it's Paul Ridgway, Bryce Wren, Zach Ellett, Tyler Wren, and Isaiah Hill. It's going to be Green versus Cap once again tonight, and we are underway from Terre Haute. Here's McGea. He has the ball first. Now it's Zachary. Zachary with it. Covered by Wren. Zachary will miss. Tyler Wren with the rebound. Now here's Hill. Hill has it. Back to Ridgway. Cole Ridgway has it, and he will miss the two. Berry with the rebound. Here's Brody McGea. McGea with the ball. Now, Brody McGea will miss the three. Ridgway with the rebound. Big time rebound. Now, here's Cap Ellett for three. Zach Ellett for three. And the Arrows are up by three. Here's Berry. Berry has it. Goes in with the slam. Nice dunk by the Raiders. You can see a lot of orange in the stands here tonight. Ridgway gives it back to Wren. Wren looks. Bryce Wren missing the three. Berry with the rebound. Now, here's Green. Thunder with the ball. He goes back to McGea. McGea has it. McGea goes up for two, and the Raiders are up by one. 4-3. Now here's Ridgway. Back to Ellett. Ellett goes up, missing the two. Rebound by himself. Zach Ellett will score. Green gives it to McGea. Here's Brody McGea with it. Here's McGea. Looks covered by Ridgway. Back to Carnes. Duke Carnes for three. He drains the big time three. Here's Ridgway. Ridgway, pass to Hill. Isaiah Hill. Back to Ellett. Back to Wren. Bryce Wren for three. A lot of three-pointers in this game. How about the Racers beating the Hawks 59-39? A big time win by the Racers. Here is Zachary. Back to McGea. Here's McGea. Goes up, looks to score. He does. McGea for two. Raiders up by one. Now here's Ridgway. Ridgway back to Hill. Hill for two. Back and forth start to this one. Here's McGea. Back to Carnes. Now it's Zachary. Zachary with it. Back to Green. Now it's Carnes again. Carnes to McGea. Here's McGea. He turns. Goes up for two. He will make the shot. Raiders up by one again. Here's Ridgway. Pass to Wren. Tyler Wren looks to keep it himself. Pass to Ridgway again. Ridgway to Ellett. Now it's Wren. Tyler Wren back to Ridgway. Paul Ridgway for two. Now here is McGea. He has a ball. Timeout Lafayette. And we will stay with you here throughout the timeout. This is game one of the night. Actually, game one of the day that we are broadcasting. It's the Raiders and the Arrows. We are not broadcasting from our studio, though. We are broadcasting live here from the Wabash Valley Forum. Coming up later tonight, I know you guys have been waiting for this one. It will be the Carmel Roundabouts and the Plainfield Thunder. A really good game that will be. And I can't wait to see how Plainfield does. And we welcome you back to the Wabash Valley Forum. Harvey Delk leads the league in rebounds per game. Trey Shelsky and Kenneth Lampley is up there. Same as Jonathan Stevenson and Isaiah Hill. That's the full rundown. Now, here's Dane Coons with it. Coons gives it back to Barry. Barry goes up. He will not score. Wren with the rebound. Wren to Vogt. Here's Julian Vogt. Pass to Wren. Now it's Bryce Wren again. Wren to Vogt. Julian Vogt for 2. 3-point lead now for the Arrows. Here's Magea. Covered by Vogt. Magea. Pass there for 3. It's Cooper Zachary. We are tied up at 14. Really strong game here tonight from the Wabash Valley Forum. Here's Jahari Miller. Miller has the ball. Looks back to Vogt. Vogt there. Looks, turns, and he will score. Vogt for 2. Here's Kieran Berry. Berry has the ball. Berry back to Magea. Brody Magea with it. He goes up, and it's blocked by Julian Vogt. Vogt with the block. Magea wants a foul there, but what a block by Vogt. He didn't even touch his hand. That was just a nice block by Vogt. And into the game now for the Arrows. Looks like Vogt is still out there. How about Green on the court? Coons. There. Coons to Gilliard. Landon Gilliard will miss the shot. Vogt with the ball. How about Soundmeyer out there? Vogt to Delk. Harvey Delk missing the 3. Zachary rebound. Zachary to Oliver. Paul Oliver with it. It is returned to Terre Haute. Oliver back to Zachary. Now here's Paul Oliver again. Oliver to Zachary. Green looks in the corner. Now Zachary. Missing the 3. Stoudemire rebound. Here's Julian Vogt. Now it's the shot by Delk. He will miss. Coons rebound. Now here's Green. Green to Gilliard. Lane at Gilliard. Back to Oliver. Oliver has it. Green. There. Oliver has the ball. Passes Zachary. Cooper Zachary. Missing the 3. Rebound by Delk. Harvey Delk from deep. Missing the 3. And the Arrows are up by 2. Entering the second quarter. A great first quarter by both teams. High scoring. Indeed. 16-14 is the score as the Arrows lead it. We welcome you back to the Wabash Valley Forum. Zach Ellett has the ball. Ellett holds it himself. Ellett looks missing the 3. Oliver gets the rebound. Zach Ellett actually missed the 3 there. I'm shocked. Now, here's Webster. Webster back to Oliver. Here's Paul Oliver. Oliver back to Webster. Cam Webster. Missing the 2. Miller with the rebound. Miller back to Ellett. Here's Zach Ellett. Ellett keeps it himself. Looks now to Miller. Here's Jahari Miller with it. Jahari Miller for 2. 4-point lead for the Arrows. Here's Cam Webster. Webster now has the ball. He goes up, trying to score, and he does. Webster for 2. Now it's a 2-point game. Zach Ellett has the ball. He keeps it himself. He looks strong. Here's Ellett. Zach Ellett missing the 3. Green with the rebound. Green back to Gilliard. Now to Webster. Cam Webster for 3. Timeout Arrows. The Raiders are up by 1. Now we welcome you back here to Terre Haute. Arrows are down by 1, but it is a really fun game to watch here from the Wabash Valley Forum. Paul Ridgway is back into the game for the Arrows. Ridgway gives it to Vogt. Here's Julian Vogt with it. Vogt has it. Back to Ellett. Zach Ellett for 2. Zach Ellett for 2. He has been strong this season. No wonder he was also the MVP. Landon Gillett has it. Back to Carnes. Carnes to Oliver. Here's Paul Oliver with it. Oliver to Coons. Dane Coons for 2. We know for a fact that next year Zach Ellett will not be on the Arrows. Probably after the first trade. Here's Zach Ellett. He looks. Ellett goes up. It's blocked by Coons. No, by Carnes. Carnes misses the shot. Carnes got the block from Ellett's shot. Now here's Vogt. Back to Ellett. Zach Ellett covered by Oliver. Ellett to Vogt. Vogt back to Ridgway. Paul Ridgway misses the 3. Oliver with the rebound. Oliver to Gillett. Here's Landon Gillett. Landon Gillett will miss the 3. Vogt rebound. Vogt back to Miller. Miller with the ball. Miller to Ellett. Zach Ellett. Bounce pass to Ridgway. Ridgway turns. Looks back to Ellett. Zach Ellett for 3 from the corner. Once again, his 3-pointers are outstanding. Timeout Lafayette. And let's stay with you and talk about Zach Ellett's situation. Sometime next year, we will not see Zach Ellett in the purple and gold. He will be in another uniform sometime next season. To start the season, though, he will be with the Arrows. But to finish it off, he will not be with the Arrows. It will be interesting to see where he gets traded to. There's a chance he could be traded twice next season. And although he could be traded first from the Arrows to another team, there is a chance, though, he could be back with the Arrows near the end of the season. It's going to be interesting to see what the Arrows do. If they want him back or wait 2 more seasons to get him back. Really good game here from Terre Haute. It's been a back and forth affair here tonight. Into the game for the Raiders, it's Magea and Zachary, and I think Green is still out there. I can't tell. Bryce Wren and Isaiah Hill into the game for the Raiders. For the Arrows. Coons, back to Diallo. Diallo to Magea. Magea will miss the 3. Hill back to Ridgway. Ridgway to Vogt. Julian Vogt back to Hill. Hill for 2. We know for a fact that the Arrows will still be really good next year, even if they lose Cap Ellett. Here's Magea. He has the ball. Magea looks and it's fouled by Julian Vogt. Magea at the line for 2. Should be an easy 2 points for the Raiders. The first free throw for Brody Magea is up and good. Now it's a 3-point game. Now, here is Magea. His second free throw. Second free throw is up and good. Ridgway with the not with the rebound, but Ridgway back to Vogt. Vogt to Miller. Here's Jahari Miller. Pass to Hill, and Hill will put it in for two. Nice shot by Isaiah Hill. Coons gives it to Carnes. Now here's Carnes. Passes Zachary. Cooper Zachary for three. It's a 1-point game again. Ridgway to Vogt. Here's Julian Vogt with it. Vogt has the ball. Back to Hill. Hill looks, goes up for two. Hill for two again. He has 8 points tonight and 8 points in the paint. Every point for Hill has been inside the paint. Here is Magea. Magea has the ball. From mid-range, for missing the two. Miller, pass to Ridgway. Here's Paul Ridgway, pass to Vogt. Julian Vogt. This is the three. Tipped by Hill, back to Carnes. Now here's Magea. Magea, back to Carnes. He almost loses it. Carnes keeps it himself. He will make it for two. Hill gives it back to Vogt. Vogt, pass to Ridgway. Ridgway for two. The Arrows continue to lead it here at the Wabash Valley Forum. Here's Zachary. Back to Magea. Here's Brody Magea with it. Magea for three. We are tied at 31. Here's Bryce Wren. Wren has the ball. Wren back to Vogt. Julian Vogt has it. Pass to Hill. Isaiah Hill for three. Now here's Magea. Brody Magea with the ball. Magea has it. Covered big time. Covered by Vogt. Now it's Zachary for three. Game is tied. Hill back to Vogt. Vogt hangs on to it, and we are tied at halftime. The Nova Rain halftime show is coming up. Tied from the Wabash Valley Forum. The Raiders look really good here tonight. Back to the Nova Rain halftime show. Folks, it's a great second day of round two action. The Arrows and the Raiders are tied up in this one. A lot of three-pointers by both teams. Zachary, Carnes, and others have gone off for the Raiders, and of course Zach Ellett for the Arrows. Take a look at the bracket. The Racers and the Huskies both have a 2-0 series lead on their opponent. But both teams, both the Huskies and the Racers, will be playing in Evansville for Game 3 in the second round. Now, let's take you back to this game, however. The Arrows and the Raiders. The Arrows won Game 1 against the Raiders. Once again, really good game in Game 1. Here in Game 2, tie game. Ellett and Magea, the top performers tonight so far. And we welcome you back here to Terre Haute. You see Clark French there talking it up with his teammates on the Arrows. Let's take a look at tonight's player to watch. It's Isaiah Hill. He has been great and 1-3 tonight, but multiple 2-pointers. A lot of points for Isaiah Hill. He has been fantastic tonight, and don't be shocked if he goes off here in the second half as we are back underway. Ridgeway has the ball. Ridgeway's out there with both Rins and Isaiah Hill and Zach Ellett. Bryce Rin to Zach Ellett. Ellett for 3. That is the one guy that Lafayette does not want to get hot in the second half. Hill got the block, but it's a foul by Isaiah Hill. That was supposed to be a clean block on Barry's shot, but it was a foul by Isaiah Hill. Magea, Carnes, Barry, Zachary, and Nick Thunder are out on the court for the Raiders. Kerion Barry, first free throw is good. One free throw here, makes it a 1-point game. They are wearing orange. That is what the Raiders are wearing. Barry looks. Second free throw is good. He makes both. Here's Tyler Wren, gives it back into Ellett. Arrows have the ball. Ellett to Wren. Here's Bryce Wren now. He looks to Ellett. Ellett inside the paint. Green covering. And Ellett for 2. Green cannot stop Ellett. Here's Barry. Getting covered by Hill. Now it's Thunder. Here's Green. Back to Carnes. To Zachary. Cooper Zachary. And he will miss the 3. Tries to tie it up. Hill to Wren. Bryce Wren. Missing the 3. Tyler Wren rebound. Here's Isaiah Hill. Hill goes up. And he's going to miss the 2. Barry. Rebound. Now it's Carnes. Here's Carnes. Back to Magea. Magea has the ball. Green there. And it's going to be an illegal screen on Nick Green. Terre Haute will get the ball back. And Ridgeway is questioning Nick Green's sanity. Pretty sure everyone is right there. Here's Ridgeway. Ridgeway hands off to Ellett. Ellett drives it in. Back to Wren. It's Tyler Wren. Now, beyond the arc. Now, here's Ridgeway. Back to Cap. Ellett getting covered by Green. Now it's Tyler Wren. Now, here is Ridgeway. Here's Ellett. Green covering. Ellett for 2. Green opens the lane wide open for Cap. Here's Barry. Back to Carnes. Now it's Magea. Brody Magea missing the 3. Wren with the rebound. Wren gives it to Hill. Listen to the Raider fans. Here's Isaiah Hill. Misses the 3. Magea with the rebound. Covered by Bryce Wren. Here's Magea. He's going to go up for 2. He will score. Oh, great shots by both teams. Here's Ridgeway. Ridgeway has it. Pass to Ellett. Back to Wren. Bryce Wren missing the 3 again. Zachary, rebound. Pass to Barry. Kerion Barry for 2. It's a 1-point game. Now here's Ridgeway. Ridgeway has it. Back to Ellett. Now here's Ridgeway. Now it's Zach Ellett again. Ellett has the ball. Zach Ellett missing the 2. Barry rebound. Here's Green. Green covered by Ellett. Green looks. Big time cover by Cap. Barry goes up. Missing the 2. Hill with the rebound. Hill back to Ridgeway. Now it's Hill again. Hill looks, keeps it himself, almost loses it. Ridgeway back to Hill. Now it's Ellett. Ellett there, covered by Thunder. Bryce Wren, this time, makes the 3. Timeout Lafayette. And we welcome you back to Terre Haute. A fantastic game we are seeing tonight. The Arrows up by 4. Coming up tonight, the Plainfield Thunder without Elijah King and Brennan Miller. That is going to be interesting. They are both hurt. Here's Barry with it. Kirion Barry has the ball. Barry looks, passes Zachary. Cooper Zachary has the ball now. Zachary looks, covered by Ellett. Now it's Magea. Magea will miss the 3. Hill is knocked down. Ellett to Vogt. Vogt to Red. He will miss the slam. Now here's Barry. Barry with it. Pass to Zachary, and now it's Magea. Ellett covering Magea. Now here's Green. Nick Green for 2. Thunder will get the shot. His first points of the night. Vogt gives it back to Wren. Back to Vogt. Julian Vogt to Ellett. Now here's Bryce Wren. Wren has the ball. Bryce Wren missing the 2. Zachary rebound. Zachary to Magea. Magea in the slam. Oh, no. The dunk is no good, and the 2 is no good by Coons. Rebound by Hill. Now it's Vogt. Back to Hill. Now it's Ellett. Zach Ellett with it. Zach Ellett misses the 3. Barry with the rebound. Barry to Green. Now it's Magea. Pass to Barry. Barry to Green. Now it's Magea again. Brody Magea goes up. Missing the 3. Rebound by the Raiders. Magea has it. Keeps it himself again. Missing the 3 again. Arrows keep the lead. Here's Tyler Wren. Back to Hill. Hill to Wren. Now it's Tyler Wren. Now it's Vogt again. Vogt has the ball. Julian Vogt to Hill. Isaiah Hill will miss the 3. Zachary rebound. From deep, he will miss the 3. Arrows will lead it by 2 going into the 4th quarter. A great finish ahead from the Wabash Valley Forum. Arrows lead it by 2. A great game indeed. You see the head coach talking strong to the Arrows. The Arrows looking to win this one. Diallo gives it to Oliver. Here's Paul Oliver with it. Oliver to Carnes. Duke Carnes will miss the 3. Vogt with the rebound. Now it's Ridgeway. Pass to Wren. Bryce Wren for 3. And the Arrows quickly get in front. Now by 5. Oliver with the ball. Duke Carnes for 3. 1-point game again. Again, Bryce Wren saved the lead for the Arrows. Now here's Delk. Harvey Delk goes up, missing the 2. Here's Zachary. Back to Oliver. Oliver has it. Goes himself. Stolen by Wren. Wren has it past Delk. Harvey Delk for 2. Now it's a 4-point game. Here's Paul Oliver. Oliver with it. Oliver passing Coons. Coons. He will miss the 2. Now it's Miller. Jahari Miller with it. Miller. Pass Ridgeway. Ridgeway for 2. Timeout Lafayette. And this is the Terre Haute offense that everybody loves. And this is exactly what Terre Haute needs to do. Not force the 3s, but go up and get the easy shots. Up 51-45. Back live from Terre Haute. Green versus Ellett in this matchup. In this game. We have seen great games indeed. Here we go. Here from Terre Haute. We are back underway. Oliver with it. Vogt covering. Here's Zachary. Zachary has it covered by Miller. Zachary goes up. He will miss the two. Miller with the rebound. Miller back to Vogt. Vogt back to Wren. Here's Bryce Wren with it. Back to Vogt. Julian Vogt for two. Exactly what the Arrows do. They capitalize on the other team's mistakes. Here's Paul Oliver. Back to Zachary. Zachary looks. Hand off to Carnes. Duke Carnes misses the three. Back to Vogt. Julian Vogt has it back to Wren. And the slam by Paul Ridgway. It's now a 10-point lead for the Arrows. Oliver to Diallo. Now here's Carnes. Carnes has it. Big time cover by Wren. Carnes goes up. He will miss. Carnes rebound, and he will put it up for two. A lot of mistakes. Not mistakes, but a lot of misses on offense for the Raiders, as the Arrows will call a timeout with 3:16 left. But Terre Haute has opened it up to a big lead. And we welcome you back to Terre Haute. 3:16 left to go in the game. Really fun game we are watching here tonight. Looks like that Zach Ellett is back in. Looks like that the starters are back into the game for both teams. Here's Tyler Wren. Wren gives it back to Hill. Isaiah Hill back to Wren. Now it's Tyler Wren with it. Wren back to Wren. Bryce Wren for two. 10-point lead for the Arrows. Green gives it to McGaha. Brody McGaha has the ball. Here's McGaha. McGaha with it. Holds it. Ridgway looking. McGaha looks up. Looking to score here. He goes up. He will score. Ridgway couldn't stop that shot. Here's Ridgway now. Ridgway with the ball. Pass it Hill. Hill. Now, the pass is incoming. Hill to Ridgway to Ellett, and the alley-oop is stolen by Zachary. Here we go. It's Brody McGaha from Barry. McGaha to Barry. Barry will miss the two. Ridgway to cap Ellett. Here's Ellett. Goes up for two. He will miss the shot. Barnes rebound. Barnes to Zachary. Back to McGaha. Here's Brody McGaha with it. McGaha has it. Covered by Wren. McGaha for two. Here's Ridgway. Ridgway has it. It's a 6-point lead. The lead back down to 6. Here's Hill. Hill back to Ridgway. Back to Ellett. Zach Ellett now. Going up for two. He will miss the two. Barry with the rebound. Barry to McGaha. McGaha looks up, trying to score. Ridgway covering. McGaha will miss the two. Ridgway with the rebound. Ridgway to Wren. Tyler Wren count it, for 3. Now, it is now a 9-point game. Thunder gives it to Magea. Magea has the ball. Passes Zachary. Cooper Zachary for 3. 6-point game again. Here's Ridgeway. Ridgeway has the ball. Pass to Ellett. Ellett looks up, trying to score. Green covering. Back to Ridgeway, back to Wren. It's a foul by Carnes. Wren gives it back to Ridgeway. Ridgeway back to Wren. Back to Tyler Wren. Wren to Ridgeway again. Ridgeway will miss. Miguel with the rebound. Less than 30 seconds left. Nick Green will miss the 2. And it's a foul by Brody Miguel. Ridgeway will be at the line. How about Green winning shot the 2? Zach Ellett knocks him down. No, not Ridgeway at the line. It's Tyler Wren. That's going to be at the line for 2. First shot by Tyler Wren is up and good. Wren has it. Second free throw is good. Timeout Lafayette. Back live here from Terre Haute. We have seen a great game indeed. The Arrows up 62-54. The Raiders are trying to stop the clock. Now here's Carnes. Carnes back to Green. Green will miss the 3 as Hill with the rebound. Here's Ridgeway. Ridgeway has the ball, and they are going to keep it themselves. The Arrows going into Lafayette is going to go up 2-0, entering Game 3 in Lafayette. The Arrows hang on to the win against the Raiders. Great game from the Wabash Valley Forum. Man, oh man. This is what basketball fans love to see. 2 great teams fighting it out, and a team able to hang on. Bryce Wren is your player of the game. Great game by Bryce Wren as he and the Arrows entering Game 3 up 2-0 on the series.